M&K Exotics presents Not Another Reptile podcast.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, guys. So this weekend, super excited. We got Nikki and Kurt from Irresistiball on this week. All right, what's up, guys?
So glad y'all could make it on this show.
Excited to be here.
Nikki is one of the sweetest people in the industry. I just have to say that right now.
Shucks. Thank you, Holly.
Nice. Hello. Sammy in the comments. What is up?
Sammy. What's up, Sammy? Just got off the phone with him.
There you go. I haven't talked to him in a little bit. He should be coming up here in a few weeks for a show. That would be nice.
Yeah. Hey, Stan, how's it going, man? Glad you could make it.
James. Just heard back from James.
Mr. Perry.
Yep. Well, super excited to have you guys here again. Let's tell us a little bit about yourself and what Irresistiball is, what you guys do, where you're from, all that stuff.
Do you want to go? You want me to go?
Go ahead, go.
All right. So we live in Washington State, and we started out 2 years ago in March, with one ball python because Kurt really wanted a ball python, and I told him over my dead body, and I'm still alive. So here we are. And so we got one ball python just as a pet, and then didn't plan on breeding, just planned on having one for fun. And then this crazy person was like, you can't have just one of these, I don't think. I think we need another one. And then the other one led into a lot more of them. And then that led into the breeding of rats and the breeding of mice and the breeding of ASF. So now we had to come up with a fun name, and we like puns and just being kind of dorky and goofy. So that's where Irresistiball Pythons came from, because it had to be fun.
Now we breed rats. We breed enough to sell rats to other people. We've only had 3 clutches of snakes, and hopefully we'll have some eggs in the incubator here within the next month and a half. That would be nice.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. So when I was checking out some of the stuff about you guys, especially on your Instagram, there's a lot of rats. What got you guys to start rats and not buy them or anything like that?
So we bought rats at first, of course, and we were feeding live. We still feed all live to everything unless it's going somewhere else. And we do fresh kill for our bigger stuff. But it was getting so expensive. And so we decided to get 2 colonies of rats and just see where it went from there. And then we were fortunate enough that someone that is kind of local to us was getting out of breeding rats. So we got her whole stock of rats, which ended up filling up part of a shed, so then led to getting a shed for our rats and getting that all set up. And then that has grown into 2 sheds of rats. And we have a lot of rats.
Oh, wow.
It was a necessity for us to start breeding. Out here, like a small live is like $5 on the low end. So when we hit like 7 snakes, we were looking at like $70 with tax. It's like, man.
Yeah, I think we figured out our dog is
being a nightmare.
Dog is being a nightmare. Everything is just fun tonight. We have a French bulldog. She is literally standing on the table right now trying to eat Legos.
Oh,
Thank you for stopping in, Jeremy.
She knows we're busy, but we figured out it would cost us like $300 or $350 a week right now to feed our collection.
Yeah, we're currently feeding weekly.
So rats were a necessity, but then we fell in love with the rats, and for a while we bred pet rats and had them in the house and loved them. But they don't live in the house anymore.
Yeah,
We
it's-
don't really do the pets anymore.
To do the pet rats, it takes so much time to make sure they're hand tamed, because a lot of people are buying these rats for their younger children.
Right.
And
Yep.
it's like, have you guys ever been bit by a rat? Yeah. Can you imagine being like a 6-year-old and getting bit by one of those things? Do
Right.
some serious damage.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I sell rats to some people who want pets, but all mine are feeders. So
Yeah.
if you take it and want it as a pet, it's fine by me. It's just like it's not going to be hand tame right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a cage over to this side of us, and we would probably have 6 males, 6 females at a time, and just constantly handle them.
They were litter box trained. They'd come out and run up your arm and hang out. And
Oh,
so we still have that as most of our stock is still like friendly. I mean, I'd say all of them are friendly.
Yeah.
We try and be super selective about what we breed so that whatever we sell as a feeder should not be like attacking our snakes or attacking someone else's snakes, essentially. But of course, they're getting eaten, so they're not very happy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They can be nice until they're like bit and like wrapped up by a snake.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the perfect time for them to start freaking out.
Yeah. I'd rather be bit by a rat than an ASF, though. Those hurt so much worse.
Oh. Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
don't.
I'm gonna caveat that it depends on how good they get you. I got bit right here on the finger by a full size female rat,
Mhm.
and I could feel it crunch, and just the amount of blood that came out was unbelievable.
Oh wow.
That same thing happened to my dad. Fed a snake. Snake came halfway out. He grabbed the snake to put it back in. Didn't see where the rat's head was. Bit him straight through the fingernail.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, Nikki's done that once and got bit by the rat.
No,
Not that bad. When Kurt got bit that time, it was like when we first started out. So we weren't we were just trying to breed as much as we could to get our stock up. So those are gone now, long gone. But when he was bleeding, I was pretty sure we were going to the emergency room, and he wouldn't let me see it. I just kept running around going, "Is it okay? Am I take you to the
I mean,
hospital?"
we're talking a pool of blood in my hand.
But it ended up being like the tiniest little cut.
Right.
Right.
Terrible.
I like this comment. My rats don't bite. They're
Yeah,
they're pros.
Mhm.
But Kurt, I do agree with the statement. It depends on how good they get you. I got
Yes.
hit, like the web of the finger, and oh my god, it was bad.
Ooh.
And I've gotten bit by ASFs, like pretty decent bites, and they don't hurt. They never have hurt that bad.
I feel
Oh
like
my
when you
gosh.
get bit by an ASF, it's like getting electrocuted is how I think of
Yeah.
it. It's like getting electrocuted real quick and then it's done. You're just like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah, but with me,
More
every time
frequent.
I've gotten bitten by one of those, I bleed like crazy.
Ah,
A rat has never made me bleed.
really?
Yeah.
Then they haven't bit you. They've nibbled you.
Yeah, it's like when you're moving the mom to get some of the babies, and you get that warning. Yeah.
Yep.
Get
Yeah,
out of
when hopefully it never happens, but when you get a good crunch by a full size rat, that's pretty brutal.
I picked one up by the tail to like put it in a bin that was a little above my head, and it like got back somehow and got me. I was like, oh great, that was really bad.
That's why our Instagram is mostly rats, because we just
love
it's a
them.
surprise that we really enjoy them. Even now, we have females that are breeding for us that are not. I wouldn't consider them pet quality, but they will come out. They'll run up our arms. They'll hang out on our shoulders while we're doing the tasks out in the shed, and then back in they go.
Right. So, how many rats do you guys have? You said you have 2 sheds, but how many are you guys breeding?
We have about 50 colonies of rats.
Yeah, and right now most of them are one male to 3 females.
Nice.
About 20 mouse colonies or mice colonies, and we're trying to build up our ASFs. So ASFs are not super popular here, but our next goal is to get our ASFs built up, which is going to take us a while to get them built up and feed all of our stuff off of ASFs mostly, and then sell the rats. So then we have kind of a good overhead.
Right.
I think the ASFs are tough. They're great. I have the same issue where, again, I probably use, if I were feeding everything that, takes ASFs and would eat ASFs a week. I'm using like 15 or 20. It's not a lot. But there's no one else. There's only one other person, my best buddy, who uses ASFs around me. So I have like 18 colonies and use maybe 20 a week. So I put down like 300 ASFs a while ago.
Yeah.
I don't. No one buys them around me.
Yeah.
That's the same. We're in the same boat here. So they're not legal in Oregon. So when we go to expos, we don't really bring any to the expos here in Washington because lots of people come up from Oregon. So we don't feel right bringing live ones and having somebody buy one and then it's not legal where they're going. Right. So, and nobody buys them frozen. We have to give them away.
Yeah. I'll give them to people that say they have a problem feeder. I'm like, here, take an ASF out of the freezer, try it. I mean, what's the worst? They're not going to eat it.
That's I've gotten a couple people to do that. Sold frozen ASFs to people with troubled feeders, and it always works. Like the 3 people I've just been like, try this. I just give it to them, and then they come back and buy a 20-pack of frozen ASFs, and I'm like, yes,
perfect, absolutely perfect.
And then I see them once every like 3 months, but then they come back and get more. So,
oh, look at that hunk.
Yeah, there's Nellie, the mischievous French bulldog.
So off of the rats now, how many snakes do you guys have right now?
Without counting just ball pythons, it's about 108. But we're in the middle of kind of like a focus or a refocus, if you will.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have some stuff we'll be posting on our Morph Market to sell, and it's just because I went through the other day and I made it like a 1-by-1 list, and like I'd say we're heaviest into clown.
Okay.
But yeah, there's just stuff that we've bought because we like, and we're like, well, now this really just isn't gonna fit into anything.
Right. So do y'all have any desert ghost or anything like that?
No? We've been trying to fight the desert ghost battle, but we're gonna lose that one eventually.
Well, did you see that Charlie just come out with the VIP Xanthic? No, VPI. However you say it.
You got it.
Yeah. And the desert ghost. I'm super excited for him on that. And for me, because I just sent off a bunch of sheds.
I've been I had a test that I was going to send to RGI because he had I needed tested for 3 or 4 different recessives, and Charlie had 3 but was missing a Xanthic, and RGI had all 4. But I haven't sent it out yet, so I'm just going to send it to Charlie now.
Right.
Which is nice.
That's exactly who I was thinking of when I said that.
But
she always gets it wrong.
Back to the retooling phase right now for you guys, I think is like pretty universal right now in the ball python stuff. Like I'm doing the same thing. I think a lot of people
I'm doing the same thing.
Right. You can still be like I brought in a snake today, but I am letting go of like 30 breeder females. I've been posting lists about it.
Mm-hmm.
So just the older stuff I've don't need any more single gene and single hat and even some single visual stuff. But I think right now is a great time for people to look at their collection and go, okay, do we need it or not?
Right.
And so clown is the big one for you guys.
Yeah. So we have our 3 main projects. Turns out our puzzle. So we have puzzle stuff, and then our clown stuff, and then probably hypo and sunset, maybe.
Yeah, we have about the same amount of hypo and sunset.
Oh wow!
Awesome. That's great. What are you in? Are those all single, or are they in like double hats, or are they mixed at all?
They're mainly single hats.
Okay.
We couldn't, like, at the time when we were piecing everything together, we didn't have enough, looking forward to just buy a visual and a couple females. So we bought mainly multiple gene hats.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, so we've got quite a few, especially clown multiple gene hats. We do have a couple visual clowns.
So is that like one of y'all's favorite, the clown stuff?
Well, it turns out it must be because
Right,
when we
right.
look back through
It is
everything,
mine.
that's what we have the most of. I love.
I never
clowns.
realized how much we had until I sat down and I made a list.
I mean, it's everywhere now. It's like Pied and Clown and Hypo are everywhere. You don't even
Yeah.
have to like look for it. It's just 90% of the snakes on Morph Market are going to be Pied, Hypo, or Clown.
Right.
And you can't go wrong, you know.
No, you can't.
They're beautiful snakes, just beautiful animals.
Is your what are your plans for the future? Mixing Clown and Sunset, Hypo and Sunset, Clown and Hypo, like, or just down the road, all of them together?
Well,
Throw 'em all in.
well, the sunset's gonna be the hard one because it kind of, you know, it's no secret it browns out. People don't like it, so I'm gonna take a few of the codoms I have here and try to brighten it up a little bit.
Mhm.
Maybe, and I would like to throw Hypo in it.
Perfect.
But
Yes.
the clowns, I think the direction we want to go is triple recessive, which would be Hypo, Clown, Pied.
Oh yeah, you're talking
But
language.
yeah, we're ways away. We have one female coming in that's a Hypo het clown or Hypo het. I can't remember what she is, but she's gonna be like the starting block
Gotcha.
where we're gonna breed her and try to get some. See, she's Clown Hypo, and we're gonna put her with our. The plan is to put her with our Barnhart Black Pastel.
Het Hypo.
Yeah, he's a piebald het
Oh, yeah,
Hypo.
sorry. Eyeball.
Het
Nice,
Hypo.
yeah.
Man, words are difficult. So that would kind of be the building block of our triple recessive.
That's awesome. That's my favorite triple recessive right now. I'm pushing that one hard.
Yeah.
But
So
It's
what
nice
do you
to have a
guys?
vision.
You said you've already had 3 clutches. How many have you paired this year?
Well, that's the fun part. So we just got an ultrasound machine after the last expo that we went to. We sold enough to cross off one of our items for this year, which was wanted to buy an ultrasound machine. So I think in all, I have to count them. They're right next to me though.
Yeah.
1, 2,
We have it down
3,
on Google
4,
Sheets,
5,
but it's
6,
easier just to
7,
look over and count.
I think we've paired 8 so far, and we have at least 5 that seem well on the way.
Yeah, we've got 2 at about 30 millimeters,
oh,
34
Nice.
millimeters.
oh yeah.
So they're well on their way. And then we just repaired the ones that were in the low 20s.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I know snakes are difficult to keep up with and pairings and stuff, but Husbandry Pro makes it a lot easier.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does. We're just
we
getting
got
all of our stuff in there now.
I spent what was it, Friday night entering a bunch of stuff. I got the 5540 rack behind me entered, and everything's in there with a picture.
Awesome.
So we're behind the 8 ball on that.
We are.
Husbandry is such a blessing, honestly.
Yes.
So smooth.
I was lucky I didn't input any of these. When we got the collection, my dad did the whole thing, and he had to input like
Nice.
200 and 250 snakes or whatever. Took him like 2 weeks to do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now it's easy. Once you get everything in, it's just you do it by clutch or you're buying 1 or 2 animals.
Yeah.
Once
I
you get the
mean,
basics of it.
It is nice. It's worth the money. Every last
Here.
cent.
What, Benji?
We have somebody from New Zealand joining us.
That Benji? Yeah.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. So, yeah, I think since I've started working with it and everything, I think the breeding is my favorite part of it because you can do pictures of the pairing and put it in there, you know, when you're doing your copulation or whatever it's called. And just the way it sets up everything to like what females you have to that male, it just makes it so much easier.
Right. I got to get mine printed out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't made it to that function yet.
Yeah.
It is like, again, feeding's an easy function. But I don't know what I would do without the breeding plan function.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I wouldn't be able to breed anything. Because I'd have no clue what should go to what snakes I have, how many times they pop. I would be, I don't know.
Right.
So to just be able to know, and even now with the function, sometimes there's some challenges I have with it, but without it, I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And see, that's where we've been using Google Sheets. So everything we have is in a sheet, but it'll be nice to have it where we can have the pictures of everything.
Yeah, that's how I tracked everything when we first started, because I don't think Husbandry Pro had released. So I had every single thing on a Google Sheet.
We just didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Released until like
we were
year
just babies.
two.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, it was it worked, but the like you said, like with the feeding where it's right on your phone where you can be like, okay, I fed this size of rat on this date and it's in this slot on this rack. It's much more functional.
Right.
And so quick.
It's
Hi there. How are you?
there's no way. I don't even dig deep into it, really. I don't have any of my tubs labeled like each individual animal in a tub in a rack like you can do. I don't have that. I just have them labeled in whatever. And me, I know where they are, or anything like that. But again, I'd be lost. And I've always been good. And I still am pretty good with where snakes are, what their genes are, and who ate this and that week. But with 300-400 snakes, it's still it's impossible. When I had 30 or 40, I could do it pretty perfectly. But now it's like I have no clue if that ate.
I got up to 12 and I was like, Bob, we got to figure something else out because I can't keep up with 12 snakes on a piece of paper because honestly, my sister tells me my handwriting looks like a doctor's handwriting. I can't even read it. So Husbandry Pro, yeah. And like Tyler, I would definitely say get those tubs numbered, get them in the system because everything flows together through there, right? It kind of works together.
I move stuff. I'm a mover. I like to move stuff around. Like this snake could be here next week. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the problem is when we move stuff, she can find it. I have no idea where it is. So I'm looking for that snake for like 10 minutes.
I have like a photographic memory. So he'll be like, where's so-and-so? And I'll be like, second row to the left.
Oh my.
When I'm pairing or when we're loading stuff up for shows, I do it all. Like my dad will tell me like, grab this one and do this because I can load up animals into cases and into bags 3 times faster than he can because I just know exactly where they are. And for breeding, he would have to go look at the whole rack to figure out where a male is and look at the females and like which rack are they in. So I just do it fast. I'm good with that. He's not. But like a serial
yes, Bobby. Oh, you just put me under the bus. More like a serial killer.
So
I can hear him in there laughing.
We talked about a little bit about what you're doing future-wise with snakes. Are the rats kind of where you want them to be for the foreseeable future, or are there like big changes you want to do, expand?
I need the only thing I know I need to do is I make all of our own racks for the rats, and right now we have the tubs that are they're just straight out. But I started last year? We have we use concrete tubs for the rack, so we've got the big ones, and we have one rack that they sit in sideways. So I've started making our rat racks sideways for the small concrete tubs based off of that design. And that's part of the thing that I want to do this year is get all the racks switched over to that. Because when you're working with a sideways tub, you don't have to take out the water and you can reach into the back corners rather easily.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
It's just nice because you can get to everything without having to I have long hair. I go out there with my hair down and go out and fiddle around with the rats. And the long big tubs, you pull them out and I'm like crawling in the tub because I'm short.
Yeah. So a little rack redesign. We recently switched up everything from 1 to 2 to 1 to 3.
Nice.
And I think that'll get our production up to where we need to be able to supply the people we do, steadily.
Yeah.
Because after we came back from the expo in January, and we still have empty freezers. We just which
is a good problem to have, but now we need to restock. The same thing happened when we went, because we just go to our local, well, it's 2 hours away from us, but it's our biggest expo for us that we go to. And so we went to that in July and sold out of everything pretty much. And we went to that in January and sold out of everything pretty much. So now we just need to do a restocking, which means we need to have more rats.
I don't know. I don't know if it's similar for a lot of rat breeders right now. The ones I've talked to is just right now, yeah, rats are hard to keep. And for me, they are. I'm like down and out for selling people stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I need to feed my own stuff, and I got a huge customer order I got to fill.
Yeah.
So like, okay. And some of the other breeders I've talked to are like, they cannot hold rats right now. And I don't know what it is. Maybe my only thing is people are probably holding on to snakes a little longer than they're used to.
Yeah.
So they might be.
I do 1 to 4 in mine.
Me too.
And it's just sometimes, some weeks, like you said, it's just not enough. So
Right.
I'm going to play our sponsor videos real quick
Perfect.
so everybody can take a little break.
Meet Sammy, a ball python breeder with a specialty in the pipe project. When you meet him, don't be shy to ask questions about his snakes, as he loves to share his knowledge and experience with others. He is a friendly and approachable guy who is always happy to chat with fellow reptile enthusiasts. Whether you are a seasoned snake breeder or just starting out, Sammy is the perfect person to connect with if you are interested in the pipe project. So keep a lookout for that hot pink shirt.
Are you looking for a place to go for affordable logo packages? In search of a top quality logo that won't break the bank? Look no further than SinkingPencil, the place to go for affordable logo packages. They offer exceptional logo packages at affordable prices.
All right. Thank you again to our wonderful sponsors of the show. We appreciate and love all of you guys. Let's get started.
Awesome.
So, Kurt, you work a day job too, right?
Yeah. I work in aerospace, so I get up at 3 a.m. and I don't get back home until usually 2:30 or 3. And then it's rat and snake time.
Mhm.
And then I usually work a lot of weekends as well. So it kind of makes
What
it
grades
fun.
do you? Yeah. What grades do you teach, Nikki?
Kindergarten.
You just light up whenever you talk about your kiddos.
Yes. I love
So do
them.
they know you have snakes and everything? We kind of talked about this.
Oh, yes.
And
They definitely know.
Kurt, do you talk about it at work any?
Oh yeah, I've got one of my friends works. I'm fortunate to actually work with him. Sometimes not fortunate, but most of the time it's fortunate. But yeah, we talk snakes. People get annoyed, but we don't care.
I know. You know, it's just kind of different whenever you're talking to a snake breeder because we can carry on a conversation and use YB and OD and all these things, and people look at us like, "You're from the wow." Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I need someone who like has snakes at my school so I can do that. Sometimes I'll talk to people and it's like talking to a wall. It's just so hard to talk to someone about snakes if they have no idea about them.
yep.
Yeah,
And
especially
You're so
most people
passionate
afraid of
about them
snakes.
too.
right. And like especially when you spend a lot of time with someone and then they like try and like repeat what you say,
Yeah.
kind of like in a funny way. It's like, yep, hat clown is a thing. That's all I hear. Like ODYB and edgy is my mom's favorite thing to say.
Oh my, that's fun.
But
So y'all have a kid, just the one.
And a crazy dog.
Any plans for more in the future?
No, I got that taken care of.
Both of them.
That's it.
You don't want no extra hands out in that rat shed helping you clean?
No, he would love to be out there. We don't let him go out until it's like summertime and the doors can be open. It's fine out there, but we just don't.
So
We don't
how
want him to
old?
be out there. He's 4. He'll be 5 in July.
Yeah,
he's
he
a
likes
cutie pie.
taking like the weaned rats that aren't, or I guess it would be the pups, and putting them on and give them rides on his dump trucks and stuff
In the summer.
in the summer. He has a blast.
Or we'll be in here feeding and we have one hatchling still because she's being assist fed, and we'll go to feed her a mouse and I'll be like, let's go put this one in the freezer now so we can feed her later because she won't eat the live one, and he'll be like, but it's too cute, mama, we gotta keep it. So many a rat and mouse has been saved because of Thor, and he's like his own little Charlotte from Charlotte's Web.
Oh,
Bad. Oh my
that's so
God.
cool.
So, do you guys do? I'm guessing you guys do all your stuff yourself, all your rats, all the snakes, or all just you two? Extra help?
Yeah, my parents live down below us. We went in and bought a house, so my mom will help out fill rat tubs from time to time. They're both retired, but it's mainly just Nikki and I.
It's nice to have an extra like set of hands, even if it's not like full. Like my grandpa builds rat racks for us, and whatever. Like he's retired. He built he's building 3 giant rat racks and going to pick up a pallet of rat food tomorrow. So even if they're not scraping bins, it's kind of nice.
Yeah,
It's really nice.
His mom will go and pick up the snakes during the day when we order a snake, and we have one coming in because she's retired. So she'll go and pick up the snake and talk to the people at FedEx, and they know us. They know her now. She just has to pull up, and they have the snake ready on the counter. I don't know if that's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that my FedEx doesn't at all. Like I come in, and they have no clue who I am, and then I go the box that says live animal. They're like, oh, okay. They give it to me. Like I did it today. And I've seen that woman in the past 2 months. I think I've seen her 3 or 4 times. Has no idea. She walked by my package. Like, I only get live animal. It's the only thing I get. And she went all the way to the back, and I was like, it's that one. Sitting there.
That's crazy.
I wish
So how big are y'all wanting to get? Are you wanting to be like Billy size? Or are you going to stay?
We plan on always working full time, and then the goal is for him not to have to work weekends anymore. So like right now he works overtime on the weekends. So the hope would be that we could continue working. So we have our retirement and everything, and then we do this on nights and weekends, and then he doesn't have to work on the weekends anymore, and then start saving enough for Thorin when he gets older.
Yeah, unless something miraculous happens, that's the plan. The main thing we'd like to do is just produce significantly better quality than what we're producing now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the trajectory we want to go.
Right. So are you thinking to stick around the 100 number and just up the quality, or are you gonna?
Yeah, I'd say 80 to 120 would probably be ideal for us.
Yeah.
Nice. I think it's a really great number. You get 15 or 20 breeders with really nice genes, and you're that would be the ideal. Right.
And we still like to do shows and stuff, so we'll always have pet quality stuff. But
We like going to the shows and talking to everybody and giving everybody a chance to see the rats and the snakes and hear the little kids get excited. And
there's
best
nothing
part
like
of it.
selling a snake to somebody in person and they're excited to get a snake.
Whether
they already have one or they just want something different.
That's
great.
Oh, go ahead.
The last expo we went to in January was the first time we got to bring our own snakes. We'd gotten to bring snakes for a friend of ours too. Our first expo a year ago in January. And then in the July expo, we didn't bring any snakes because we didn't have any to sell. So we just brought rats and rat stuff.
Yep.
And now it was really exciting to finally get to bring our own snakes and tell people about them.
Just
Oh yeah.
I think in general, if people know me, they know, but there's not many things I enjoy more than like helping someone out or giving someone their first pet snake or just seeing people get excited for it at shows. It's like hatching clutches, cutting eggs is like, yeah, that like those three things are like peak because
Right.
you go to a show and there's nothing better because I still am at shows like some shows I really wish I didn't bend so I could like run around and just talk and see people's tables and be that kid. But
Right.
you know, I think we turned down a table at a show at Tinley actually, so I can run around and be a kid at Tinley and not have to bend. So I was, you know, but it's something you gotta like balance. And you guys have done 3 shows, or have you done more than those 3?
We've done 4. So we've done the 3 shows in Puyallup, which are our bigger ones, are Pac Northwest. And then there's one smaller expo. It's like 45 minutes away from us in Monroe. It's at the fairgrounds that are closer to us. And it's just a 1-day show. So, but this will be our first time going to that one with our own snakes too in May. It's Mother's Day weekend usually.
Nikki's
Yeah.
birthday.
It's my birthday, so I'm going to bring cake. So if anybody comes to visit me, they're going to get cake.
Oh man, Bobby, I need a plane ticket.
What so are those the only ones you've been or the only ones you go to? Do you go to different expos around or
No, we have not. We've just been to the one in Puyallup, and the other ones are in Eastern Washington, so they're a good few hours drive
Or they're
away
in
from us.
Oregon.
Or they're in Oregon,
So that's
which
like
is
a
5
4
or
or
6.
5 hour drive usually.
4 or 5.
yeah.
But our goal is to someday get on a plane and go to a bigger one just for fun to see
Man,
all
I
of you
wish y'all could
guys.
go to the Dallas show. That would be awesome.
I want to go to Dallas.
I'm excited for that.
So
Yeah.
we won't get to go this year, but hopefully next year is our plan to get on a plane. That's
Yeah.
going to be on our vision board for next year.
I don't get a lot of time off of work. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's now that I have a job well, I used to have a job, but now that I'm in school, like, you know, getting time off is hard and I don't like it. I'm becoming like, this sucks to get time off for school. And then like having a job when I had a job was like really hard with shows.
Mhm.
So it's yeah, but I would, if you can, recommend, well, it would be Dallas or Tinley or any RBCs or just, you'll never see any other show compared to it, really.
Yeah.
For me.
The Super Show.
I haven't been there, so I don't know. But for me, personally, any RBCs are like peak that I've been to. I do need to get out to the super shows. And
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. That was massive. I loved it. I love the people. And it's always a good time, like going to the big shows, and then whenever they're over, everybody just kind of meets up at the hotel bar, and it is a blast, you know.
And I think
So much fun, but it can get expensive too.
the snakes and the reptiles are a good, for me, it's like an add-on. Like, it's super fun to like go and see cool snakes.
Yeah.
Going to meet, you know, seeing Holly for the first time in Tinley, and then, you know, all that stuff, meeting like the cool people that I bet you guys have connected with on Instagram or on other platforms. Finally meeting people like that in person, just hanging out, is like, you can't top it. As many times as I go to shows like that, you know.
And where people are no longer just a talking box on the computer or on my phone.
Yes. Yes. Well, it's so much better when you do get to meet the people, and you know, it's all, this industry is connections. You got to have connections. If you don't have connections, you just may as well just sit down, because it's too hard. So,
Mhm.
and then y'all, let's talk a minute about your podcast.
Yeah.
You know, I want to get that out there as well. When did you start that?
Oh gosh, we just started at was it the beginning of February? We just
think so.
started. So we there's just not really anything around here like that, and we have met so many cool people through buying our snakes and meeting up in parking lots with people around here that we wanted to have an opportunity to showcase them, as well as kind of just get to talk to people a little bit more. So we started off with like a Pacific Northwest adventure where we're trying to talk to the people around here first and then branch out from there, here and there. But we have Angel as our co-host, and he's a guy that we've gotten to know through the shows and is just a really awesome guy. And then
he's been breeding for like 25 years.
He has a ton of experience.
He's been doing reptiles since he was a kid. So I mean, it's nice. He's a wealth of knowledge.
My co-host is the same thing.
Yeah,
it's true. Also a wealth of knowledge.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Will, shoot me a text. About a Huffman. I have a lot of Huffmans. But
so that's kind of where it started. It was just, hey, there's a lot of really cool breeders up here that just for whatever reason don't do any, they just don't do any social media. They don't talk. You never see them. So we're trying to bring people like that out of the woodwork a little bit.
Yeah,
we got some pretty awesome people around here. I also went on with Lady T's Exotics in January, and that I got the bug for being on here after that. I was terrified. I thought I was going to die. I was like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be able to talk about anything. Probably going to forget who I am, but I survived. And then we did our first podcast at the beginning of February, and I looked at Kurt before we went on, and I was like, Kurt, we're going to be lucky if we make it 15 minutes talking, just the two of us. And we talked for like 45 or 55 minutes, and the rest is history after that. We've had so much fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see new people coming out and doing shows. And, there's always this big debate. Oh, there's enough podcasts for the snake people. Da, 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 da. But what people don't understand is sometimes we don't like that certain person, right? And to see a fresh face come on and they're talking and you're loving them and you're just like, yeah, this is good. We need to keep going and moving forward. And not everybody likes everybody. This is how it is.
No, and we're excited because Ryan from Salish Serpents is one of the first guys local that we got a snake from, and he is going to school for genetics. Like, he's ready to graduate and be done with that, and he's going to come on again with us in a couple weeks, and we're going to talk genetics with Angel, and I think that's going to be amazing. And this last weekend we had Tucker on from Purple Rain, and he has green tree pythons and ball pythons. We got to hear all about green tree pythons, but that's what we wanted to make our podcast, not just ball pythons, because we wanted to hear about all the cool things. Like, we have some, they're going to move soon, but they breed frogs, and we wanted to have them on when they have a chance and just hear about all the awesome things that they're doing. And we're going to have Dylan from D's Balls on hopefully at the end of March, and he has berms, so we're going to get to hear about his berms. And Angel and him are really good friends. So
to this industry,
yeah,
yes.
And most of us love the ball pythons, but it's a nice and refreshing to get other perspectives.
Plus, there's some reptiles like we would love to have. Like, I'd love to have a green tree python, but I can't have a green tree python. I probably wouldn't be able to take care of it like I can the ball pythons, right? And we aren't allowed where we live to have anything over 6 feet. So we can't have a berm or any of like those things. So to get to, we can't own anything over.
The city will not permit anything over 6 feet.
So if you get anything other than a ball python, they won't even give a permit for it.
Wow. My New York is 10 feet. Wow.
Yeah, 6 feet. But it's not everywhere in Washington. It happens to be where we live.
Yeah.
And I don't know what about surrounding cities, but definitely not here in the few around us. But that's why we want to have other people on. I learned so much from Tucker. I pretended like I knew everything. So he's going to come on with us again in like March or in April, and I'll get to ask the questions that I was too embarrassed to ask last time.
Doing the podcasts, and with the number of them, like, I'm not worried about, people do complain how many podcasts there are, but so many new people, like you said, that I haven't heard of one or two of those people on it. And there are so many people that I know that have never been on a podcast that luckily will get on to this one in March. 2 people I know that have never done podcasts are going to be on the show in March. Like, great, amazing people. So to me, it's not how many podcasts there are. It's like, there's so many people that are so cool It's not about me and Holly. It's about you guys for this show and the guests for every show that aren't seen as much.
Right.
We're on here every week, but you know the guests are on once a week or once ever, and it's so much more fun to build a community through this network.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And if people don't want to watch the stuff, it's so easy just not to click on it.
Click.
Yeah.
Keep me going.
Right. And then, that's fine. I understand people's time is valuable and they'd rather
Right.
watch other people's opinions.
Right.
And that's cool. But
Yeah.
let's get
And
some of these
learning from each
unknown
other.
people on here and talk to them because they're
That's-
still interesting.
Yeah.
Or
That's what
some
I
of
try
them
to do. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, or
But
like
there's-
he said, some known people that
that
don't
don't
do
come out
this
as
very much.
often.
Right.
There's it's so interesting to find different personalities too. Like people who will sit down here and talk all day. Some people it's hard to get conversations going as a
Yeah.
podcast, while doing the show. But and then you go at even you see it in shows, and some people who breed ball pythons or reptiles in general who aren't on social media or aren't anywhere, it's like it's impossible to
Yeah.
do that for, in my opinion,
Time.
right
Yeah.
now without being on
Yeah.
social media.
But I just love getting people to break out of their shell. I really do. I was terrified when I first started. I didn't even want to do a podcast. I hated it. But it took me about 35 episodes to get to where I like it. So I like doing the artwork and stuff like that. So, but getting more comfortable with talking to people, it's going to help everybody out in the long run. You are working the show.
Yeah, Kurt and I are, we are, what would you, there's a phrase I use for it. We're selectively social. So going on a podcast was kind of like, oh my goodness, we're really putting ourselves out there. Even starting like getting stuff on our Instagram. It was so weird to take a video of myself. It still feels really weird being like, hey, here I am.
Yeah.
But I think the more you do it, the more people see stuff and they get to meet our rats. We have a video coming of this really fluffy mouse. Wait till you see it. It looks like it's wearing fluffy pants.
It looks like one of those chickens with the big
It looks like a
puffy
bantam
legs.
chicken.
Yeah.
It just popped up in our mics. So there's just fun stuff like that. And then getting to come on and talk to people that we get to talk to at expos just briefly, but getting to sit down and know like their origin story, like getting to know Angel's origin story has been really fun for us. And getting to know you guys.
And I mean, otherwise we probably never even would have met.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I do want to shout you all out real quick because y'all are so sweet. They got me flowers, and I had surgery this week, and I come home to this, and I was just like floored, and I was like, "Who got me flowers?" And I opened that card, and I was like, "My sister, my snake sister."
No,
So
we want you
I
to
really
feel good,
do.
Holly.
I really do appreciate that, man. That made my millennium right there.
Yeah.
It not a lot of people in this industry are so nice, and to have somebody as nice as you guys, it's really refreshing.
Yeah, you got it. There's no point to being mean, spiteful. You got to spread the niceness. I mean, we're all basically doing the same thing.
Yep.
I mean, we can either do it collaboratively or we can hate each other for no reason.
Yep. Exactly.
That's I think that has come up every show that I've been on at this one. There's no point. And I think the people we pick, or the people that come onto this show, knowing that like again, the minority in all cases gets seen more than like the majority. Those few really loud people get seen. And it's like, oh, the reptile industry sucks. Or whatever.
Yeah.
They're all mean,
Yeah.
they're all whatever. And then every single person that really I talk to is just, a great person.
Mhm.
And
I
I
think-
love that.
I think we've probably all had a not so positive experience along the way. And in all of this, which has has made us be who we are too. Like, I don't want anyone to ever feel the way that I have felt from people. So I want to, and Kurt wants to put the positivity out there and showcase our animals in a positive way. And even though we've got rats and the snakes eat the rats, it's really funny. When we started having our Instagram, people would ask all the time, how can you have rats? And don't your snakes eat the rats? And right, like all of that.
Yeah.
And because we have both sides. We have the people who love the pets that follow our Instagram, and then we have the people that love the snakes that follow the Instagram. But we work on not putting the two of them in the same picture. They don't go together.
Right. Yeah.
So
I think that's got to be. How do you guys handle that? Because for me, everyone who buys rats from me, I'd say 99.9% of them are feeders, and I get maybe a few people a year who come and get a pet. But for you guys having, I'm guessing, but it sounded like a pretty decent split of people buying feeders and people buying pets. How did you guys handle that? And I have to guess some of the customers were, as you said, a little confused or didn't like it.
You know, so we worried first, like when we made our logo, when we went after making our logo and our business name, we got told a lot at the beginning, you can't have both of them in the same name. You need to have a snake business and you need to have a rat business, and you should not have the two together if you're going to sell pet rats, because people aren't going to want to buy them from you.
Yeah, that's,
and I was like,
that's stupid.
I am not
that's
having,
not going to work.
Yep. Yeah. People are going to get mad at you because you have them both in the same picture. And I said, you know what? This is what we love. We love both of them. It doesn't mean that we devalue, like we don't devalue the rats. We think they're amazing. And we wanted them to be in the same picture because we didn't want to have two different business names. Plus, we thought we could make a really cute logo with a little rat and a little snake not eating each other. So that's fortunately what we have.
Yeah.
But we found out we didn't get anybody that wanted to buy a rat from us that thought it was weird that we had snakes. They would ask pretty openly like about it, but they were all really accepting of like, we have the pet side, we have the feeder side, and now we just have.
Yeah. Fortunately, a lot of people understood that not all rats can be pet quality rats. It's just never gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to cull them in once. So whether you're feeding them off, freezing them, selling them to somebody as frozen thawed, they got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And what we found is a lot of people that primarily have a rat business also have reptiles. They've got monitors. They've got snakes. So they're doing the same thing. It's just not blatant there in the front.
Yeah, they just hide it. So
we're
just out there to hold it.
I don't know anyone who has a rat business that doesn't have some sort of reptile.
Yeah.
Might not be in like their rat breeding might be 30 times bigger than the amount of snakes they have, or their snake business or reptile business, but they still have 5 or 10 reptiles somewhere.
Yeah. What's really neat too is now that we have 3 of our Puyallup expos under our belt. The first one we went to, we were a nobody, right? Like we had a little chest freezer and a cage full of rats, and people were asking us all sorts of questions and thought it was crazy that we had rats and snakes. And then the second one, they kind of started to know us, and there were less of those. Well, don't those things eat those things? And then this last one we went to, not a single person said anything. They thought the rats were great. They thought the snakes were great. And then
and I'm sure the Instagram helps.
Right.
Nikki running all the stuff, because I'm sure people are seeing it. Yeah.
I have a lot of fun taking all my crazy.
It seems like you really do. I wish I don't have that much courage to like videotape myself like you do. Like you were talking about.
You just got to go for it. You just got to go for it.
Just do it. There are a lot of outtakes of me going, yep, nope, try again. Yep.
What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to feel a little silly.
Yeah, right. No, I always feel
by
silly.
the next one.
I don't.
Look at there. I got a cheerleader now. It's going to make me do it.
on Instagram, the only videos I take of myself are egg cuttings. That's it. Like I don't know why. I feel weird doing it, even though I do this. I feel weird doing videos about like.
I think it's just so different when you're just recording yourself, there's something different. Like, I know we're just recording ourselves, but we're like, even if when Kurt and I went on, I felt the same way at first before we went on by ourselves. And I was like, man, this is just going to feel like we're recording a video. But then you got the people in the chat asking you questions and supporting you and wanting to know what's going on.
Yeah,
That's so different than when you're just sitting there like, here is this really cool mouse. Look at this mouse with its long fur. Like, it's not so exciting.
Yeah. And for us, if we could get like at max like
Exactly.
2,500 followers that are active, I would rather have that. I mean, honestly, I'd rather have 100 active followers than 15,000.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I'd rather have a like-minded community than just a giant number that doesn't have any meaning behind it.
Right.
I agree. And I think there's pros and cons to like social media with the amount of followers you have and like the amount of people you talk to. I don't know if we talked about it last week or I've talked about it to someone, but it's like there's so many people, you kind of just get lost in it. So getting your, I don't know, 10, 15, even 20 people that you try and talk to all the time, it's like, you can't even do that. So having a nice community that is commenting on all your stuff and trying to like, you know, keep up as much as you can with them, it gets really hard. The more people that follow and keeping them all active is way more important than having like a fat number as followers.
That is honestly, it's like some of the videos people do. It's like if it's not educational or something, you know, I don't really want to watch it. One of my favorite things is the egg cuttings. I love that. So, hey man, look who we have.
Steven and Courtney.
How y'all doing?
You know, not trying to like hype him up, but some of my favorite videos are actually Steven's. I really like his more like the more recent ones talking about, I already told him, like the business side, because a lot of people don't. I really like that stuff. So I'll sit there and I get really upset when it's a 20-minute video because I could listen to it for like 2 hours straight of just
I love
sometimes
those
there's not enough
videos.
stuff to consume. You need more.
right. Or, you know, there's a lot of people I'll watch and I get like, again, really upset when it's like, oh, it's 20 minutes and I really wish it was an hour long.
Right. Yeah.
So the podcasts are great. When you find the right podcast, you can just sit there and clean for a couple hours and be set.
Yep. Well, my first egg cutting video will be April 11th, I think.
Are you going to do it live or are you going to do a video?
I think I'll do it live.
Heck yeah.
Just
that'll be fun.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, how would you say, what platform would you use to do it? Just do a YouTube?
You could do you could do Instagram and YouTube at the same time if you want.
Yeah.
And then do like an Instagram short or a YouTube short of the cuttings afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've actually never done a live egg cutting. I always feel like I should. I just never really do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why. I always video it, or I'll like be on the phone sometimes. But it's I don't know why I've never done like an Instagram live video of cutting eggs.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen quite a few people do it, and I just love it. And all the comments you get, and yeah, I'm ready.
Definitely.
We're excited for you.
We'll be there.
We will. We put this crazy lady I put a camera in the egg box or in the incubator because I like watching them hatch.
Do you cut or do you let them come all the way out by themselves?
We cut, but then I use the camera to
We have a
spy on
blank
them.
camera that goes in the big box.
Which was the really fun part because this fall when we had, it was like, I guess it was December, we had our last clutch that we had in our incubator hatching. And with our camera in there, I got to put it on at school so all the kids could watch the snakes hatching out of their eggs. We had so much fun watching them.
That's a nice educational tool.
What are you putting? Is it a GoPro that people put in there? Like, what do you?
No, we have. Gosh, what is it?
It's a Blink,
I think it's a Blink camera.
but it's
It
waterproof.
Works awesome.
Oh, okay.
It's just black and white. It's not color, but
And you can
works
access it from the
fantastic.
app. so
And
you can
watch it
just
anywhere.
watch it live.
Huh.
See the
That's
little
really neat.
baby snakes cruising around.
So
Because
Yeah.
I see people doing it, but I like don't know what they're using to
Oh
do.
my
Yeah.
gosh, it is so worth it. I can
Yeah, it's just
send
a,
you the link to the one we use. It's amazing. It's
a
just
Wi-Fi camera.
it's so cool to be able to see them as they like start to come out and then they go back in and you're like, dang it. And then they come all the way out and you're like, yes.
Right. I always love like coming down in the morning and just seeing like 3 snakes out, 2 snakes in. But yeah, if you could just watch it,
Oh my gosh.
I've wanted to do that, but
You
I
need to
don't.
do it.
I
So
will
much
have to
fun.
get a camera and try it
'Cause
on a couple.
Then you lay in your bed at 1 o'clock in the morning, wake up and go and watch your snake so you don't have to get all the way out of the bed. And you're like, oh, look, one hatch. Now I'll run out there and go check on it.
Yep.
So I think with something like that, you need to share with everybody, like have your own stream to where people can watch it as you're watching it too.
You know,
Oh gosh, it's so cool.
I wonder if that would be good because like there are a ton of like wildlife cameras, just
Mhm.
streams or like zoo cameras that stay
Uh-huh.
on forever. I wonder if like
Yeah.
a live snake hatching cam might be interesting.
Oh, ours doesn't go.
Just sit there and watch it.
We don't put ours inside the tub.
Yeah, we stick ours outside the tub.
Ours sits outside. I saw Will's comment. Ours doesn't go inside the tub. It goes outside of the tub and watches the inside.
So you get the through the plastic view.
Yeah.
The only thing in the tub is the tile that does the humidity and temp readout, and the little tray and the snakes.
Yeah.
What do you guys use for your
Substrate.
hatching substrate? I don't know a better word to call it.
It's perlite, isn't it?
Right.
Or vermiculite.
I don't remember. Which
I don't
one.
remember which one it is, but it's one of the two. It's not white, so I think it's
It's vermiculite then.
Or make it like that.
yeah. It's a tannish color.
What did you
Yeah.
use, Holly?
Same thing.
Vermiculite. Okay.
Yep.
Good. I've used vermiculite on almost every clutch I did, and then I ran out and just snagged a bag of perlite. I realized I really don't like perlite, so I'm going back to vermiculite.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if like anyone else had issues that I had with it. It's kind of
What were your issues?
It was just they would dry out really fast, and I'd put a lot of water in it, and
Yeah.
so the snakes would crawl out. And I learned it with the first clutch that I hatched on it. So usually I leave them in the tub, they'll shed, and then I'll leave them in there a few extra days and set them up. I won't like right when they shed, I'll usually let them in there for another 4 to 7 days, and then set them up in their own tub. Wait like 5 days and then feed them, and then usually they'll eat their first meal because they've been out shed for a while. And that works perfectly on the vermiculite. And then the perlite, I realized, like dry the snake out. It was like dust, and like they'd get like a coating of dust on them or something. And I was like, this is bad.
Yeah.
So right after they hatched, right after I cut the eggs, I'd put them in a new bin on wet paper towel.
Mhm.
The first clutch, they were fine, but I realized like there's a weird residue on the snakes, which had never happened before. Which I didn't know if that was just me or if anyone else had that issue with the perlite.
Yep, can't speak on it. We've never used it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's like, I'm going to the store.
Yeah, I know people were talking about using Orbeez and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
heard of people using just water.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do that.
You can use anything as long as like well, not anything. Obviously, it has
Right.
super humid, but like just sponges, water. Like I see it all. As long as the eggs aren't on direct
Yep.
moisture, then they're good. I don't know.
Yeah. The vermiculite works really good.
Yeah.
And you get a huge box of it for next to nothing.
The pearl.
Oh, okay. That's a neat one.
Okay. Because, yeah, with my vermiculite, I just water the vermiculite, close the tub, cut the eggs, and then not really open them much until they
Yeah.
came out, shed, and then I'd put them on their paper towel with a water dish in there, and they'd be fine. But the perlite is something completely completely different I had not seen before.
Right. Yep.
But
Well, I want to ask y'all my famous question. What is the dumbest thing someone has said to you after they find out you're a snake breeder?
Oh, well, we get the thing you guys get all the time, I'm sure, where we're not coming to your house anymore, which is great. We don't like to have people over anyway, so it works out well.
Yeah, the secret is we probably don't like you that much anyway.
That's really not nice, Kurt.
I know, but generally the people that are
Say
saying that kind of stuff, that's the
Yeah.
answer. If you had some kind of like social awkward
Oh,
thing, you would just blurt that. That's
Right.
fine.
yeah. I just look at them. I don't like conflict, so I'm just like, okay. I don't know.
Yeah. And then once you find the people and they're like, oh, we're not going to come over anymore, they get comfortable. And then
Right.
pretty
Yeah.
soon they're holding a snake, and you're like, yeah, that's what I thought.
I feel like that is probably the dumbest thing we've heard. We've heard the how can you have rats and snakes and don't they eat doesn't the
and
snake
it's-
eat the rat? Which is not really that dumb, I
And
guess.
it's mainly our people that we would consider our fairly close friends that are just like, oh, we're not coming over anymore. And it's like, okay. But then they end up anyway.
They do eventually.
3 days later.
Right.
Yeah. Or as long as they're in the tub and I can't see them, or like when my mom, when we first got our first snake, Erebor, he was in a glass tank at our kitchen, and our Thorin was really little and he was 2. And so they were coming over all the time to watch him, and she was like, I can't go in the kitchen now. I'm like,
Yeah.
then she did.
That's the funniest thing is when they say that, I feel like they think you just have snakes all over. Like they're not even in
Yeah.
a tub or a tank.
Right.
Like all my snakes are in the basement in tubs. Oh, I'm never coming over anymore. You'll never see them. You have to
Yeah.
All those poisonous snakes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The for me, it's when people have the realization. I'm going to use Nikki's dad as an example. He was, he's old school. he raised cattle. He's used to having animals and stuff like that. But he didn't realize how large the reptile community really is until he went down to the Puyallup show with us and he saw, 6,000 people there on a Saturday morning. And which isn't a huge show, right? But I mean, that's still a lot of people for a Saturday morning at 9 a.m. when they open the doors.
I love seeing that.
Changed. And then Kurt's mom, when she lives downstairs. So when we brought our first snake home, it was, oh, I don't know if I can come upstairs anymore. Right. And then she'd come up. Then of course she came upstairs anyway. But then it was a year later, we got her a snake for her birthday. And now she has her own snake rack. And someday she'll have her own snake. And last night she was asking us, who's going to go with him? Who can we put with him to make babies? It's just really cute.
I don't know how they show up, but with doing so many shows, there's people who come up to me at shows and go, I never knew there were so many people who were at reptile shows. Like, well, why are you here? They were just like, it's I thought I'd check it out.
Yeah, I saw an ad and I figured I'd come in and see what you guys had.
Right.
Or a lot of them are the people that come to buy the exotic plants.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, I didn't realize snakes and spiders and lizards were a thing.
Which, by the way, Kurt does not like spiders at all.
I'm terrified of spiders.
So when we went to the Monroe Expo, I'm going to post the picture again. Our friends were next to us. They're like our family, and they were selling tarantulas. And I was, he's getting clammy just thinking about it. And I was like, can I hold one? I don't like spiders. I don't know why, but I am conquer all my fears now that we have these things in our house all over.
I look over at you guys, and there is a tarantula that is this. It's like the size of the bottom of this coffee cup, crawling up
on
her
my
arm. And I instantly turned white. I was just like, oh.
He was like, bye.
Tarantulas are cool, right?
Here.
But no, thanks.
I can't do it.
Oh.
I can't either.
And
I
for some
can't
reason,
if someone brings it to me.
Ollie, I have to answer that question now. Really, one thing I don't understand, but I think is stupid, is if you like snakes, then you have to like spiders. Just clicks in random people's heads. It's like, someone at school the other day flicked a bug at me, and I freaked out because I hate bugs. They were like, "Dude, you have snakes. What are you doing?"
Yeah.
I hate bugs. I can't do it.
Snakes don't have
And they're like-
legs.
They're like, "Oh, that's really weird." I'm like, "No, it's not. It's not at all." Like I've kicked it. I felt really bad, but a kid came up to my table with a spider on his hand, and I was like, go. And I felt really bad. It was just my initial reaction. I just held out a spider and I went, no, go.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
for me, they're great. I like looking at them if they're in an enclosure, but as soon as they come out, man, no, thank you.
I'm
He
worried.
doesn't really like looking at them in an enclosure. He's being very kind.
No, they build some of the most beautiful webbing structures. I mean, it's gorgeous, but no, I don't. Just leave them in there, please.
Yes, Tyler, you saying that made me think of one of the craziest things I have heard. Now it came to me. We know some people that had a rat problem, a wild rat problem, and they told me that since I kept rats, I would be the one to come and help catch the wild rats.
I choose the Pied Piper.
Like that doesn't work that way.
Or like let a
Oh my
snake
God.
out to save, like to solve the problem. I've heard that one. Can like I have a snake to solve my rat problem? No.
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
Or you have a lot of rats at your house, or like we had mice for a while because where we live out in the woods, and somebody was like, "Can't you just feed the mice to your snakes?" Like that doesn't work like that. You can't
No.
just go catch the wild ones outside and give them to our
Yeah, a lot of
precious
people think
snakes
that.
inside.
That's funny. A lot of people think you can just go catch it. Like, yeah, are you gonna go out and like catch a rabbit and like feed it to your dog?
This one right here, this comment, I love it. So down south, we get
Oh,
those
yeah.
big old long centipedes like that,
Yep.
Stop.
just
No.
roaming around. Oh no, they look like little aliens. And
I actually am like, my skin is crawling talking about it. I just hate bugs. Spiders, I know, aren't bugs, but they're bugs. Centipedes, also not bugs, but they're bugs. I just can't.
You know what it is? It's because we like things without legs.
Right.
yeah,
Right. I stop at
Yeah.
4.
The vivid thing for me is you guys remember watching Willy Wonka with the original one. So it would be Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
With the when they're in the tunnel and it's got the guy's got that millipede or centipede crawling on his face.
oh,
That did it for you?
It's stuck in my head for life.
oh my goodness.
Well, I learned that when I go to a reptile expo and I want to hold a spider, I need to be away from Kurt.
Yeah.
I don't. No, thank you.
Well, we love to fish and everything, and I don't know if y'all know any of these, but we seine for our minnows, right?
Mhm.
So we were out seining one night. It was just right getting dark, and my brother-in-law is terrified of spiders. I don't like them, but this man is extremely terrified. And I had the lantern. We were walking around while they were seining, getting the minnows in the bucket, and the next thing you know, you see the ground kind of move. It was alive with spiders, and he flipped out. And so it's Spider Island now, and he'll never go back to it again.
I think the one that clicked for me is when I was probably like 4 or 5. I stepped on an anthill. It wasn't even like a fire ant or anything like that. It was just ants. And I didn't realize until they were like on my thigh and I was covered in ants. And I was just, since then, I was like, bugs suck.
Yeah,
No.
right.
Oh, God.
Yep.
No spiders. God.
Well, y'all got anything else you want to talk
Shout
about?
out.
Shout out anybody?
Oh,
Well, we have too many people we enjoy. I am the lady on Instagram that will write you messages. You all have figured that out already. Tyler's
Yep.
gotten messages from me
I
before
have.
you knew who I was.
we
Like,
always
who's
got to
this
shout
lady?
out Tom Barnhart because he's been really, really nice to us. Really helpful.
Yeah.
He helped us ID some of our hatchlings
Super
because
cool.
we were having, and then even
Ken
Ken
Masick
Masick,
helped us with
'cause
our
we-
extreme gene
with
stuff.
Extreme Gene because we have
Yeah.
it in pinstripe and it is terrible to try to identify in pinstripe.
But he helped us. I think the
Wow.
biggest thing in all of this for us is like, I don't even know how to say it. Like, we have worked. I feel like we've worked pretty hard on getting to know people and building a community around us, and just being able to approach people the right way. Like, we've heard a lot of times, like, we tried to talk to so and so, not Ken or Tom, but they didn't respond to us. And it's all about how you talk to people. Everybody's time is valuable.
Mhm.
And everybody wants to feel like they're important.
Right.
Right.
And a lot of people, if they don't message us back, we just let it sit, and then
Usually.
sometimes you get a bing, and it's them.
Right.
2 days later, it's like everybody's got stuff going on.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I always say your network is the most powerful thing you can have, just in life. But here it's super important.
It is. It is.
But
That's true. We can't do this on our own.
right.
Tyler, you were saying you have hypo clown pieds, or that's where you're headed?
I'm headed there. I'm close. But I have actually. Where is he?
Yeah, here we go. This is what I want. I want to see one.
Come here. So, where's your dome? This is a pin clown pied pet hypo male. And he's in with.
I really like how it took a lot of the pinstripe away.
Yeah, so he's in with the pastel and cheek double het clown pied right now. And then I have a hypo clown het pied, also breeder male. He's in shed, so he's not paired with anyone. And I got some females that are, double het clown pied. I have a lot of female clown pied stuff. Was like where I started. It's my favorite thing. So I have a ton of double hats. I have a double visual right behind me, breeder girl. But I just started liking or getting more into the. So here's a breeder.
So what is the secret to removing the high white to get more pattern in there?
Enchi and pinstripe are the big
Enchi and
ones.
pinstripe.
Yes,
Like, pinstripe and Enchi are really, really, really important. And if you want to, the higher white pieds, like the cinnamons, the black pastels, the special, like any bell complex too, you'll get either all white pies or like pies that are like stupid high white. So I try and stay out of that when doing like clown pied and hypo stuff. Like this year, unless it's Mojave. Mojave's the only one that I like, just because you still do get saddles, like lesser, usually specials, only the head. I actually have, I sold them, but special pied that had pattern on them.
Yeah, it's just the head, so it's mainly white.
But just trying to get like Enchi around, which is a very like simple common gene, but when in pied, it's just, again, it looks all right. It looks nice in pied, but my main thing why I like it is it brings the pattern back. So I have a super Enchi OD hypo clown that'll be going to like hypo clown pied project stuff. So all of his babies are going to be Enchi. And I think GHI also throws high pattern. So I have a GHI hypo going to a pastel Mojave yellow belly clown hat pied this year. I have a lot. I think when I looked, my clown pied, my hypo clown pied project stuff, I might have 15 clutches this year of in some form, whether it's triple hats, single visual hats, double visual hats, or maybe having a chance at triple visuals. But that's like the big project that would work right now. When you said it, I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, that's where I would, and it's I'm reading Bobby's question, and it's not as much, and it falls under the same thing, so I can answer it at the same time. I necessarily wouldn't add more genes. I would add more double visuals, just visuals. But when we got into it, the visuals were like $5, $6, $7 for just like a single visual.
I think it too. If we could go back, we wouldn't have like the 66% hets. We would have like the full, like the 100% hets or the visuals instead. Like that's where we're at right now. We've had the POS hets that are not het, and now we have the things.
Today we just got a shed test back, and we have a 66% that missed.
So, now we have a snake that is beautiful, but
it's really
the wind is terrible. I don't know if you hear the wind at our house.
I did.
That something fell over.
I thought something fell.
We're alive.
Yeah, that's the advice I'd give to people too. Instead of buying a couple hets and trying to hit the visual, just save the money, buy visuals.
No, I
Right?
I agree on that most of the time.
Yeah.
I like, again, depending on who it is, like spending the money, having the money to do it, and sometimes it's stupid. The difference even between a het sunset between a visual.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you're talking about $200 to, I don't know, Steven, what are they, $3 or $4 grand right now? So it's like, okay, I'll go buy 5 hets and a visual male instead of, you know,
Or
what I mean?
even, yeah.
So
Getting a
sunset for us is a great example because we
Can't afford
ended
a
up
visual
getting
Exactly.
I think it's a 4 gene
You can get her
het
out. I don't
female.
think she's shedding.
I'll get her out.
We'll get her
And
out.
she cost us $2,500.
She was our first most expensive snake. Like we were at my parents' house. It was 4th of July, I think, and I was like, okay,
Yeah, it was.
we're getting ready for them to tell us about this snake. We've been waiting. We've been talking to someone, and they were like, well, we might have this one available, but I doubt we'll have this other one. Yeah, this other one that we really wanted, which is her that we ended up getting. They had her, and I was like, I don't care. We have to have her
we wanted.
no matter what. So she is both of our het sunsets are pinstripe.
Black
But-
pastel, orange green pinstripe.
So did you hear that? Black pastel, orange dream, pinstripe, het sunset. She is a pretty girl.
Interesting.
She's almost breeding size. She's not building follicles.
Who'd you get that
Yeah.
from?
Captive bred specialties.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They have
And I mean, as you can
They
see,
do.
the sunset, it's browning out, but I still like her.
When we got her, she was so bright,
she a
like her
visual?
belly. No,
Oh, she's
no,
a het.
but when we bought her, she was like her belly was orange, and so when we had one of our, it was like our second clutch, I think,
Mhm.
we paired our het sunset
I'll
male
grab
just to
him
get his first pairing under his belt. We have some really pretty het sun. Well, we
We have to
tossed
test
het sunsets that we're going to test to see, but they look pretty good
Right.
in the het sunset realm because they are they're brighter than they should be. It seems like you've got like the regular pin that's not, and then you've got this one or two that are just like something special about
He's in
them.
shed, but he's all right. But you like
Hold him up.
when he,
There you go.
sorry, when he's not in shed, this darker. Oh, sorry, I've got the worst.
He's in.
No, you're
He's in
good.
shed, so he's 150% brighter because he's got extreme gene in him. So all this stuff is just extremely bright yellow and white when he sheds out.
Hmm.
But yeah, he's pin as
Pinstripe
well.
Pinstripe is one of my favorites.
Then you add the extreme gene in there, and everything gets a little
brightens it
more
up.
fun.
Yep.
I
It's a
think-
lot that they can still be done with pinstripe, you know.
Yes.
I don't even know how much pinstripe I have. I don't even know if it's a lot or a little. I don't keep track.
Yeah, we've
Right?
got quite a
Right.
bit of pinstripe.
We do.
I'm the kind of guy that likes even just a pastel pinstripe, just a lemon
Yeah.
blast. It's not a powerful snake, but
No.
it's a pretty snake.
So nice.
But
That's
we have one of those.
the hardest part. The more I breed is like, I hit snakes this year that look so damn cool, and again, I could pair those parents again and like make those same snakes, or I can like make technically like genetically better snakes, but they probably would look
Dog problem. Sorry.
or like
Oh.
pastels or something. Then it's like,
Right.
but they'd be better for my collection. Then I sit there and I go, but I really like those really cool looking snakes. I kind of want to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
Having those problems.
This
What do
is
you
one
think?
of this little baby's from our last clutch that we had, and this was probably our most exciting because this is the first time we made our first visual clown. She's not a clown, but we put our two het clowns together.
What is
So
And
this
so-
this could be a POS double het clown pie.
So she's orange dream, black pastel, yellow belly, but then you won't be able to see it because of the way our camera is. But she has got like the orangest
I see it.
stripe going. She is so pretty.
Does she have
I love the
orange going,
question
like,
mark on her.
What do you
was
say,
that,
Tyler?
Tyler?
Does she have orange like going on her belly, like kind of by the tail?
Yeah.
That like covers it? Yeah.
Yeah, so that orange stripe rides all the way up.
That's yeah. And she's what, POS double het?
So she looks like she's going to be piebald,
Uh-huh.
but she could also be Poss Clown.
Wait, and what did you say? She was going Black Pastel ODYB, right?
Yep.
Huh. Alrighty.
Black Nightmare.
Nice.
She's pretty.
Pretty
I'll get out our.
She'll brown out.
We have a
little bit,
single
but-
gene black pastel that came out of that just stayed because it was so fun. I'll grab her.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for them. I'm waiting for them all to shed out because unfortunately we didn't have the visuals, so we made Poss hats.
Yep.
And like you can look at that pattern and say, well, that's got to be at least piebald, right?
Right.
But
I
who knows, right?
I hit pretty much the same snake. I had an orange stream cinnamon yellow belly.
Everybody's fired up. over
50%
here
double
tonight.
head clown pied this year.
The storm is hitting us. So this is our black pastel from that same clutch, and she's getting ready to go into shed, but she is angry.
Oh, she
Is that Barnhart?
pretty.
Nice.
No,
it's
this
just
is
normal
black
black
pastel.
Hmm.
But look how
Really
fun
nice
she
black
is.
pastels.
Look
Yeah,
at
she
pretty.
came out
Lovely
crazy.
on her belly, though.
And that could be influence from hopefully I'm hoping double hat because that's another portion of the projects I want to work into is the clown pied, then add hypo, and then
Yeah.
She's just fun. We posted her to some other people, and everybody's like, "Is she gonna go on your morph market?" I'm like, "Nope, she's staying here."
She's those alien. Oh my god,
Isn't that crazy?
they almost look like a kind of hurricane blitz.
That's
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we've heard so many times from people. And then she's got the circles, the black pastel circles, all the way down her back. But she's just regular black pastel. That's all she is.
Yeah.
This is one Tom helped us. So we're like, there's got to be something more. It's just black pastel.
yeah, I mean, why not ask the master of
Yeah.
black pastel?
Exactly.
I do have to show this. I just have a comment on this. Odie Enchi pins, super nice. Odie Enchi pinstripe yellow belly pieds are what blew me out of the water a few years ago. When I saw Miguel post those, I was in shock. I'm super excited to see Odie YB Enchi pins I'm hoping Hypo Clown pied a few years up making the hats this year. Well, pied, hopefully Odie YB Enchi pin pieds double head. That was one thing that got me stoked.
Yeah.
I saw somebody post a VPI Xanthic pinstripe the other day. That blew me away.
Kurt's fighting his cough. Can you tell?
Sorry.
He's not crying, I promise. No. But we're excited to see what you guys make. This will be our first go at hopefully visual puzzles. We're going to be pairing our het puzzles together hopefully soon, and our het sunsets together hopefully soon. But I have to say, this is the time to take advantage of buying the things that you normally couldn't, because I said we'd never be able to buy a visual puzzle. I was like, Kurt, the first visual puzzle we'll have in our house is going to be one that we produce, and we were able to buy a super pastel visual puzzle at an auction.
Right. Wait, was it from at an auction or on a Morph Market auction?
It was on Holdback Rack podcast. Yep, from Reptile Creations.
From Anthony.
He is him. I'll get him out.
He's in your neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
He's handsome. We're doing the fun stuff. We get to show our babies off.
I don't even know how
Right.
far he is from me. I don't think he might be. Is he towards the city?
Here he is.
I think so. I'm not exactly sure.
Back up.
That's the hard part. The city's 6 hours from me.
Yeah, you're up north, right?
Yeah, I'm between Buffalo and Syracuse.
Oh, perfect.
So he's gonna have to grow, but
I love puzzle.
Wow.
Yeah, so we were originally just going to get a normal puzzle.
Right.
just a pastel puzzle, I think.
No, it was just a normal.
It's just a puzzle. Never mind.
Yep, and then
Catastrophe.
a
happened.
catastrophe happened, and his puppy ended up getting to it.
Oh.
So he was super cool, and we got
Oh my
this
god.
guy. So we got
And
a
he was
super
fortunate
pastel.
enough to upgrade us to a super pastel.
Yeah.
And that's so nice.
Yes.
A lot of people are like, doggone pastel.
Oh.
Pastel is my favorite gene in puzzle, and it sounds
Well,
like
and putting the pastel in the puzzle was amazing. Like just seeing how it brings out everything.
Yeah, and if you look at our collection, if we posted our collection today, we have so many super pastels.
It's a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
But if I figured that I was going to avoid normals, I would at least take a pastel.
Right.
This will be his girlfriend. Hope she's done. Everybody wants to bite me tonight, which is not like unheard of, but tonight seems to be exceptionally terrible.
Yeah.
Everybody looks feisty.
But yeah, no, that's what I tell everybody
This is our girlfriend.
that is starting to get into it.
This is girl.
Save your money, get visuals.
Yeah.
Ooh, what is that one?
This is she's a super pastel phantom yellow belly het puzzle. So she's got to grow. but
That'll
we'll
be
get there.
good.
Well, should be fun.
That'll be good.
Wow.
We've got some stuff for down the future.
Yeah.
So that's where we're working at right now.
Awesome.
Getting somewhere, but it's nice to finally be getting focused, because even like 2 weeks ago we would have been like, I don't know, we just like this and we like that, and
Yeah.
we've been we joined Billy's Patreon, and that has been a game changer for us.
Yep.
Seriously, we've been in other Patreon groups for years and haven't learned anything, and in like 2 weeks, like, okay,
Yeah, in the first
it's
hour,
time to fix this
it
problem.
grabs you by the horns.
Right. Yeah. He's got a lot of good information in there.
He's my kind of people. He's concise, just straight to the point.
And they have the same
Right.
haircut.
Yeah, and he's got a beautiful haircut.
That's funny.
Yeah.
No, but it's nice to have a vision for where we're going, and
Yeah.
nice to like stop myself from buying just something because I think it's pretty.
Yeah, because that's
Yeah.
the trap we fall in. Is it's like, man, that is a gorgeous animal. Let's buy it.
I know.
Right.
It's really hard, especially when things are more affordable now than they have been.
Especially now.
Yeah.
Oh.
I see the market actually getting even better, honestly.
Me too.
It is, yeah. It is. It's getting better, and so now it's going to be nice to like. We have some stuff that is nice stuff, but it just doesn't. It doesn't fit for where we're going now, because now that we're focusing in, where we were all over the place, because it really was like literally like, oh, I'll buy an ultramel because I really want an ultramel, but now I have an ultramel male, but I don't have any ultramel females, right? So
Right.
it's like I was just, and then we're just hemorrhaging rats on all these snakes.
That are going to do
Right?
nothing for us within the
Yep.
next, 5 years. We're just
Right.
looking at floundering.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
But yeah, no.
All right, guys. Well, I hate to cut this
There is
short.
one
but-
thing
She's got to go. She's got.
No,
Oh, no,
I just
it's
wanted
okay.
to plug that we're doing a giveaway for a snake.
Oh, yes. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so that'll end this Saturday. So we're going to announce it hopefully during our live on Saturday, but we have a super pastel, super stripe male because he doesn't fit our plan anymore. So he's up for a giveaway, and all you have to do is go to our Instagram and comment that you followed us on Instagram, or comment that you shared the post and that you subscribed to our YouTube channel. That's it. That's all you have to do.
Awesome.
You win. And he's a
I'm
sub
keeping
adult.
my fingers crossed.
He's probably, I can't even think, he's probably almost up to, if he's not at breeding size already. He's a good
Yeah,
size
you
boy.
should be ready to go.
That's awesome. Well, thank y'all so much.
Thank you guys.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
I appreciate you, and y'all have a great evening.
You as well.
too.
I plan on it.